testimony and your thoughts, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If I could have someone move the agenda table, please. Moved by Mr. Stetzel, second by Mr. Butler. Any additions, corrections to the agenda? Seeing none, all is in favor of the agenda? That passes 8-0. Moving on to our student leader comments. Welcome, Odyssey.
All right, good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gabby Graves. I'm an assistant principal at Odyssey Academy. This evening, we have brought some scholars who are here to tell you about our Black Student Union, as well as our Good Morning Odyssey show, just to give you guys some information about some of the things that are going great at Odyssey currently.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. I want to start off by saying my name is Antonio Vasquez. I'm a senior at Odyssey Academy, and today and the vice president of BSU. Today I'm presenting our Black Student Union slides. Myself and my team want to share with you the positive impact that our Black Student Union has on Odyssey Academy and the role we serve as members of our community in the Greece Central School District. Our BSU was formed in fall of 2023 through 2024 school year. Our BSU president, Salas Alvarez, advocated for this and started the BSU for multiple reasons, but we have one main initiative, which is to create a space where all students can be empowered by each other and do great things they are destined for. It started with a thought just in the air, and it is what it is now, and a place where students could feel comfortable with having a series of hard conversations, planning events where all are equitable, and celebrating cultural diversity in our school and our community. A Black Student Union is considered as a student organization that provides a space for Black students and scholars to connect, celebrate their culture, and advocate for their interests on campus. And currently, at Odyssey, 22% of our scholars are Black or of African descent, which we see was thought was very beneficial for our school and our community. As you can see on these slides, our board members are listed here, and they are a representation of scholars grades through 10 through 12. Though we can continue to actively recruit younger scholars to support our growth and development of our union, we want to pursue our dreams of expanding the Black Student Union.
Hello, I'm Kalina, and I'm a junior at Odyssey Academy. I joined the Black Student Union this year as a new student. Joining the BSU helped me connect with the people at our school and feel more a part of the community. The creation of our current BSU began with establishing a formal charter and our mission statement. The mission of the Odyssey Academy's Black Student Union, or BSU, is to create a supportive and empowering community for the Black scholars within our school. We are dedicated to promoting cultural awareness, fostering academic excellence, and advocating for social justice. Through collaboration, education, and engagement, we strive to uplift the voices of Black scholars, celebrate our heritage, and create a more inclusive and equitable school environment. We strive to empower students to do amazing things in our community while giving back to the school and beyond when possible. This year, we decided on a theme of focus for the 2024-2025 school year. We voted our theme to be Who Are You? As a focus, our goal is to always make sure our scholars are connected with our school, community, and beyond. Knowing ourselves and who we are can help us rely on ourselves and supporting others. There is an African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child," and we believe it is important for our village, our school, and communities to support one another so we can grow and guide each other towards greatness. Our meetings have been a mix of special guests, informational meetings, and conversational meetings. Special guests including Mr. James Waters, someone who holds multiple leadership positions in the city of Rochester and region. Adrian Hale, Assemblyman Damon Meeks, and Isaiah Santiago, the youngest commissioner elected to the Rochester City School District Board of Education. All of our special guests were asked to speak about the theme mentioned earlier to provide students with the understanding that opportunity looks different for everyone, but they all extend beyond the horizon. Though first you have to recognize who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jalissa Hernandez. I am a junior at Odyssey, and I am an upcoming board member. My part of the presentation is to show you aspects of our community and what we created, and what is our upbringing of personal identity. The bird basket was during Christmas. This was one of the ways that we thought to give back to people in need. We created baskets with drawings, clothes, gift cards, and toys. Us as students, we value the community and take all advantages to give back. This brought us together as one, despite our differences. BSU is about togetherness through our personal aspects, not by description. So finding ways to come together while helping others is not only important, but it benefits us. The Culture Showcase was created last year because many students expressed wanting a time to celebrate the various cultures and traditions Odyssey has. Last year, we kept it simple because we didn't know how it would turn out, but this year we made it much better due to feedback from families and friends. We had youth vendors promoting their businesses, received donations to make our food, charcuterie boards. We were able to get students and adults to perform from different high schools across Greece. Getting different students from different schools was very important because it fostered networking and created relationships with other BSUs with similar motives as us, empowering community. The showcase gives people such as myself and other performers drive and purpose, and it helps us express who we are through forms of art, dance, and poetry. Increasing partnership with other BSUs, where we used events like the Culture Showcase to collaborate with other BSUs and schools to present their gifts and to keep up with expanding cultural awareness to community. Communication with other schools. Our Vice President, Tony, he visited Arcadia, Athena, and Olympia. While we recognize that our school has the highest rate of African American descent, 22% different from other schools, with 18%. Our mission is to connect with other BSUs and to continue to uplift the voice of our Black scholars, and to celebrate our heritage and to create a more inclusive and equitable support across the Greece District. To create more opportunities for students to figure out who they are, it's okay, changing who they are to why are you important. Next year, our goal is to change our theme to who are you, to why are you important, in order to still welcome students to figure out who they are, while ensuring that we make sure students know that they are important and have purpose. Like me, other students got to find their own personal identity and how they fit within cultures. I discovered my love for poetry and a sense of voice and got to empower other people by standing for what I believe. Increasing participation in middle school and high school. We want to start promoting the voice in the middle school to clarify what they want to see and what they want to participate in, and what is their perspective on the underclassmen. We want to know, what do other middle schools want to see more of the BSU?
Hi, I'm Nick Viola, and we are more than honored to be presenting in front of all of you tonight. Currently, I am a senior at Odyssey.
And I'm JP Swicky. I'm a freshman at Odyssey. My role in the show is mostly as a newscaster and on-screen correspondent. I feel that the GMO show brings the diverse Odyssey community together across all grade levels. Even though it's only a 7 to 10 minute show every Friday, it is rewarding to see the students and staff, to see the students and staff talking about it throughout the week.
Since the start of the school year, I've been a part of the Good Morning Odyssey show. Throughout my time on the show, it was an exhilarating experience getting to speak about robotics and community events. As my final year as a student comes to a close, I've come to realize how important the Good Morning Odyssey show has been for the school itself.
Here are some popular segments from the show. You have the opportunity to see popular segments, including student passion projects, open mic questions, and the leopard paw hat draw. Oops, fell down here. And the leopard paw hat draw that recognizes scholars' great work at Odyssey. We hope you enjoy the show.
This evening, we have a special compilation of some of our favorite Good Morning Odyssey features. In addition to sharing our news of the week on the show, we also love to highlight events that students enjoyed, and some of our most requested segments includes asking our Odyssey community to answer our most pressing questions. Enjoy this small peek into our GMO production.
Okay, my name is Xavier Carujo, and I am in 7th grade, and I am a gymnast. So how I started becoming a gymnast was I was in my backyard with my older brothers, and they wanted to learn how to do a backflip. So I joined them, and then I just sent a backflip over my side, and then I just and then I just fell in love with the sport. I see my passion for gymnastics for me in the future to be an Olympian, or get a D1 scholarship in college for gymnastics and study in forensic science. Gymnastics helps me in my life. It makes me stronger, increases my upper body, and it's my favorite thing to do, and I love showing my parents the new skills that I learned. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me talking about my passion project. If you guys have any questions, just contact me or talk to me in the hallways.
Favorite school lunch is the sandwich with the ciabatta bread.
Favorite lunch? Chicken noodle soup.
Macaroni and cheese is my favorite.
My favorite school lunch is the nachos.
My favorite school lunch is the deli.
My favorite school lunch is chicken and mac and cheese.
Favorite school lunch is the mozzarella sticks.
Yep. My favorite school lunch is the pizza crunchers with wings.
Okay, mine is, my favorite school lunch of all time is the specialty plate with the mac salad.
Welcome back to the leopard paw hat draw.
Here we go. Congratulations, Kaden Griffin.
Come get your prize at the library whenever you have free time.
Is there a slide after this? No? All right. Thank you for listening. Please let us know if you have any further questions.
Thank you. If I could have all of you guys come up so we could do a picture, that it would be great. Baker? Yep, and the board.
No, right.
And before we roll into the rest of our agenda, I just want to take a minute to thank our community for supporting the budget and the two propositions that they voted to support last week by an overwhelming margin. The board and the rest of the community and our students, thank you for that support. I'd like to also introduce, we have two new board members, Ana Maria Falzerano and Monica Seaman, who will be joining us starting in July. Welcome and congratulations. And our colleague, Mr. Bonagorio, was reelected. Mark, congratulations. With that, and can we roll into staffing? Can I have someone move the staffing today, please? Moved by Ms. Millar, second by Mr. Stetzel. Any comments, questions, or concerns on staffing? Seeing none, all's in favor. That passes 8-0. Assistant Superintendent Larson, you're up.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to welcome 3 new administrators this evening. First, we'll start with our new assistant principal at Brookside Elementary, Courtney Afarian. Courtney earned her bachelor's degree in psychology and her master's degree in special education from St. John Fisher University. She further pursued her certificate of advanced study in school building leadership and school district leadership at the University of Rochester. Courtney's teaching experience spans various grades and age groups from preschool through middle school. Prior to becoming an assistant principal in Greece, she also served as a first grade teacher at English Village Elementary School. Courtney's favorite part of the job is forming relationships with her students and their families and getting to learn from the amazing staff in the buildings she supports. She is looking forward to growing as a leader and supporting the work that the district does each day. Outside of work, Courtney enjoys spending time with her family and friends, traveling, and working out and running. Courtney lives in West Irondequoit with her husband Brian, their 9-year-old son, and their 4-year-old twin girls. Courtney is very excited to continue her career with us in Greece. Congratulations.
We might as well do a picture, Courtney, if you don't mind, with the deputy superintendent. In front of the Jeep.
Next, I'm pleased to welcome new Assistant Director of PPS, Dr. Alex Akers. Alex is thrilled to rejoin the Greece Central School District as an Assistant Director of PPS with a focus in behavior response systems. He holds a bachelor's degree in inclusive childhood education from SUNY Fredonia and furthered his education at the University of Rochester, where he earned a master's degree in teaching students with significant disabilities and a doctorate in K-12 leadership. With experience as a special education teacher, behavior interventionist, assistant principal, and special education administrator, Alex brings a wealth of knowledge to his new role. Outside of work, he enjoys playing music, cooking, and spending quality time at home with his husband, Ethan, and their cat, Cecily. Alex is looking forward to collaborating again with the building and special education teams to support our students in Greece. Congratulations, Alex.
Special ed team, you guys can come up too. That means you too are Jerry.
That was a good try, Laura. All right, and last but certainly not least, Assistant Director of PPS, Jordan Van Sloten. Jordan is an accomplished educator with a rich background in both elementary and special education. He earned his undergraduate degree from St. John Fisher College, where he became dual certified in elementary and special education, complemented by a minor in educational technology. He furthered his education with 2 master's degrees, one in literacy from Elmira College and another in educational leadership from Brockport. With 16 years of experience in the Elmira City School District, Jordan has taught special education across various settings. He also brings administrative experience to his new role, having served as the Assistant Supervisor of Special Education and CSE Chairperson at the same district. One of the most rewarding aspects of Jordan's job is the opportunity to foster strong relationships with students, staff, and families. He values collaboration and is dedicated to working together towards the shared goal of student success. Looking ahead at his career at Greece Central, Jordan is excited about the new systems, skills, and challenges that each job brings. He's eager to expand his knowledge through formal training and hands-on experience while building new relationships with students, families, and staff. Outside of work, Jordan enjoys staying active through various activities such as participating in a flag football league, working out, and hiking. He has a passion for traveling and immersing himself in diverse cultures. On a personal note, Jordan is relocating back home to be closer to family. He and his girlfriend are expecting their son in December, marking an exciting new chapter in their lives. Congratulations, Jordan.
Do you guys want, usually I open up to families to come up and do a picture. Do you guys want to do a picture? Sorry, that was my bad, so I apologize. That's all right, you stood at the top. Thank you. Congratulations, all of you. Thank you. Can I have Sony move the Gus MOA Security Supervisor to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Stencil, seconded by Ms. Like. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to the Gus MOA new title. Can I have Sony move that to the table, please? Moved by Ms. Moore, seconded by Mr. Butler. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to the Gusto MOA. Can I have Sony move that to the table, please? Moved by Vice President Farmer, second by Mr. Stencil. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to the frontline security contracts. Can I have someone move those to the table, please? Moved by Ms. Moore, second by Mr. Bonagorio. Any comments, questions, or concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to the kids' care terms and conditions. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Ms. Lake, second by Mr. Stetzel. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. And the Teamsters contract. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Barnagorio, second by Ms. Lake. Any comments, questions, or concerns on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. Moving on to the capital projects update. Superintendent Smalley.
All right, I'd invite Mr. Romeo Coley to share the update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm being joined this evening by our senior architect, David Phelps, to give you guys an update on what is going on during the summer this year and kind of an update on Reimagine Greece. So around this time of the year, annually, we come back. The summer's going to be a busy time again, not as busy as previous summers, but there's a lot of projects going on, capital projects. So we'd like to take this opportunity to bring everybody up to date on what's going on over the next few months. Dave will then give some details around each of the projects. We've also included a change order process, and Dave will do an update on change orders for Reimagine Greece, where we stand to date. And then we're going to round that out with a quick summary on the Reimagine Greece costs compared to budget that we started back in 2019-20. So just looking at some of the outstanding capital projects that we currently have open right now, we've got the Arcadia roof repair project. Dave again will talk to most of these. We are looking at a storage location at the Early Learning Center. We're still finishing up the classroom and gymnasium lock set project that was started a couple years ago, and we'll give you a little information of what the delay is with that. The pavilions and playgrounds at 6 schools with between playgrounds and pavilions will be happening this summer. We had earmarked $2 million out of this year's budget to take care of those items. Those will get done over the next couple months. The warehouse floor renovation is currently under progress, and we've got a capital outlay project for Odyssey, for one of our rooms to do abatement of asbestos abatement, excuse me. And then the two major items are Reimagine Greece. We're finishing our phases R6 and R6A. This summer we'll round out the Reimagine Greece project that was approved back in 2018. And then coming up after that, we just wanted to put on here where we are with our Level Up project at $72.5 million and let you know where that is. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dave.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Just to summarize some of the projects that Romeo talked about a minute ago. The high school roof repair at Arcadia, this is stemming from a wind event that we had back in 2023. Took some time to get through some insurance things and whatnot there, so we're working on that, and that project is going to be procured through a cooperative contract, and construction is going to happen this summer into this fall. The Early Learning Center storage addition is about a 500 square foot addition by the Play Zone, if you're familiar with that. This is funded by a $250,000 SAMS grant issued by DASNY. We just received SED approval for that for our building permit, so that is going out to bid and will be constructed this summer into the fall. The classroom lock set project, this project's been going on for quite some time. We've ran into some issues with the contractor. Unfortunately, the contractor appears to have gone bankrupt, so we are in the process of trying to procure the rest of the contracts for that in a fiscal, financially responsible way for the district and a reasonable cost. So we're working with our attorneys on that, and there'll be more to follow as we go through that process. Playgrounds and pavilions, as Romeo mentioned, as part of the budget last year, there was $2 million earmarked for playground addition or replacements and modernizations, and 2 pavilions, open classroom pavilions essentially. at 2 schools, at Brookside and Pine Brook. That construction's anticipated to start this summer, moving into the fall for completion. And then the warehouse floor project, as you're all aware of that project and what the need was for that, that is underway right now. The warehouse floor has been demolished, and we're just awaiting steel. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, so got aggressive and got ahead of things, and now we're waiting for the steel to come in and be reinstalled. That should be, work should be restarting on that in the next few weeks and be completed at about middle of July. The 2025 capital outlay project, that was again awarded or was approved in the budget last year. That is going to be some asbestos abatement happening up on the 3rd floor of Odyssey in W1 and some finishes being replaced there because of that abatement. That's going to be started on this summer and completed by this fall. And then summarizing the Reimagine Greece work. So we have 2 schools that are being affected by construction as part of Reimagine Greece this summer. English Village is going to be getting an accessible lift to their stage and some mechanical equipment replacement in the kitchen area. That's the smallest portion of the project. The biggest portion and the biggest impact is going to be at Athena. The Library Media Center is being completely renovated there. It's going to be modernized and look phenomenal. We're doing some asbestos abatement and some domestic water line replacement there. The one big thing is the elevator modernization. Those are the original elevators. They haven't been touched since the building was built. So those are at the end of their life, and those are being completely replaced. Cosmetically, mechanically, and equipment there. The actual size of the elevator isn't going to change in any way. So that's going to be done this summer. Some lighting in the gym, both gyms. The fire alarm is being upgraded in the Performing Arts Center, and all that work is planning on being done by the end of summer here and ready for school start. We do have, as part of 6A, if you go back to the original page that Romeo mentioned, there were 2 portions of that. The chiller at Athena, which controls the air conditioning on the 3rd floor, was replaced over the summer last year and was activated this spring. So that is complete as part of the ARP funding. And the next portion of that is we are replacing a good chunk of the exterior windows on Athena. Again, those are original windows from the late 60s. And so those are going to be completely replaced as we go through the summer here. So that's a big undertaking at Athena, but we're confident we're going to get everything done on time. We've been working hard with the contractors to get ahead of schedule there. Going over the change order process. Just want to get to my notes here. So as most of the board is aware, change orders happen during construction projects, just on like any project. And so I just wanted to quickly go through the process as we get into the summer here, and eventually, well, I hope we have no change orders. It's bound to happen. So just educate everybody, remind everybody of what that process is. So a change order is a change in the construction contract. And kind of what happens is the issue is raised. We as a team, along with the architect, construction manager, and the contractor, discuss the issue. We issue a change to the contractor. The contractor comes back to us with a price. Depending on if we agree or disagree with that price, we further that conversation, or ultimately we recommend that the change order be approved. That comes to the board for final approval if it's over $10,000, and then ultimately the change orders are signed by the board president, in this case Sean. Quick summary, we're going to get into a little bit of detail here. So I talked about the issue being raised. There's 3 primary causes for issues being raised. One is an errors and omissions, and I'm going to define that in a little bit. Unforeseen conditions. We open up a wall. We're not expecting something to be inside the wall, and that needs to be, that's a change. Or an owner-initiated change. So those are 2 different things. Number 1 is we either remove scope for whatever reason, or we add scope for a reason, a particular reason. Either we didn't think of it at the time and we wanted to get it done or something like that. So those are owner-initiated changes. Again, we talked about the changes agreed upon, and we amend the original contract for a dollar amount, and coming back to the board needs to approve anything over $10,000. Anything under $10,000 is approved by Jeremy, and then signed by Sean. So errors and omissions, this is an industry standard term where it's something that's not included in the contract documents, and we're responsible for the cost of that. An example, or errors are mistakes or inaccuracies on the documents that lead to problems or issues in the field, or reworking something that's already been done or built. An omission is something that's essential to the project that was not included on the original construction documents. Examples of an error is one of the doorways that we installed was installed as a 3-foot wide door, and it really needed to be a 6-foot wide door. So that's an error on the documents. Mostly, if in that case it was found after it was built, and we need to change that size door opening. So that's an error. An omission on the opposite side of that would be is that the door frame itself is included on the documents, but the door panel is not, the door itself. For whatever reason, was forgotten, was left off the documents by accident. So we didn't pay for that, but that's an omission. It was omitted from the drawings. We need to pay for that as part of the change order process. Then we get into design errors. Those are typically found after the project is completed, as we've had in our current situation. And we usually, the architect is responsible for those design errors, and we go back to them and we negotiate back with them to get those corrected. And kind of going where we are for Reimagine Greece from a change order status, on the page, on the slide here is all of our phases up until R6. We've had some negative change order dollar amounts and some positive change order percentages. Ultimately, we are averaged out to be about 4.95%. And through R6 and as of May of 2024, I think that's supposed to be 25, is 5.01%, which for a project our size is about industry average. So we're right in line with that average change order percentage. And we currently have a contingency balance of $41,452. That does not include construction contingency that has been set aside for R6. So we're still positive overall for the project. Thank you. Next.
And just to finish up, where we are with Reimagine Greece, should everything go at the end of this according to schedule, kind of a recap. So our transportation, this building here was completed back in about 2021. We had budgeted to almost $26 million. It came in a little bit under budget, so that gave us a little bit of funding to move on with some other work. As we looked at the phases R1 through R6, we had budgeted about $68,317,000. Through R6, we're guesstimating that it's going to be about $4 million worth of construction work. It will, our R1 through R6 will cost somewhere almost $66 million, which should provide us with a little bit of a balance going into incidentals and some other costs that have to be accounted for as we complete the project. But you can see every one of these is an actual except for R6, which we estimated that the actual cost would be similar or equal to the budgeted work that's coming up this summer. On a very high level, accounting for everything, we see the $107.8 million budget on the left. Transportation, our phases R1 through R6, capitalized interest was budgeted. Our DASNY's fees for $2 million was budgeted. That's to cover bond issuing costs through DASNY versus the public market. And then incidentals are all the attorney fees and all the paper printing and the testing that has to get done. We budgeted that at about 18% or $11 million. You can see as of the end of May, or as of this evening, the Transportation Support Services Facility comes from the previous page at about $25.4 million. R1 through R6 comes in at the $65.7 million from the previous page. We did not utilize any capitalized interest for this project, which is a good thing. It wasn't needed. The DASNY fees, we budgeted about $2 million. We're doing a closing in June. With that closing, we will have spent about half of that, which is a plus and provided a little bit of funds going forward. However, our incidentals are at almost $15 million. However, in that $15 million, and there's an asterisk there, you'll see that there's a $66,000 library rooftop unit included in that incidental actual to date. There's also a $500,000 transfer from Reimagine Greece to XL2 to help finish off the lock set project that we spoke about earlier. Okay, we can't put that under construction, so we labeled it under incidentals. And additionally, we are looking at about $500,000 to replace the Vortex system at the GPAC. And the Vortex system is that electronic system that takes care of all the curtains and the rigging and the lighting per timing. So when those curtains go up and down, they go up and down, in and out at certain times. That whole system is original, needs to be replaced. We're going to do that at about $500,000, and we've included that in the incidental costs as well. That, upon the completion of all those items, we'll have somewhere around $750,000 remaining within Reimagine Greece. And per discussions with our financial partners, a couple things we can do. One, we can pick up extra work that we had to cut out of the scope originally, up to about 700, well, maybe about 500,000 when you count in the incidentals. But that work would have to be at English Village or Athena, because this bond issuance that we're doing through DASNY in June specifically includes R6, which is Athena and EV. So if we want to do any additional scope with that money, it has to be at one of those two buildings. So we'll take a look at those and then come back and decide if that's an option. Or two, if there isn't anything there that we can do for $750,000, we can roll this money into our debt service fund and then use it to either help pay principal off on those two projects, or use it to keep that tax levy exclusion that we've been doing for the last 7 years, 5 years, 6 years, keeping it level so that there is a level stream of debt in the tax levy for our residents. So we'll decide that after we see what the real numbers are and make a decision there. So overall, we're within budget. Project should be very successful, and we should have a few dollars left over pending any really significant changes this summer. Questions?
Mr. Bonagario.
Thank you for the update.
Can you remind me how old is the oldest school, and how old is the newest? Ballpark.
Ballpark, I think late 50s is the oldest building we have. I think it might be 1958. I think it's one of the elementary schools. Don't quote me on that one. And I think the newest building is either Pine Brook or Arcadia Middle School in the early 90s, I think.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Butler.
So just a point of curiosity, on the fourth slide, you're talking about the Arcadia High School roof repair, and it says it's going to be procured through a cooperative contract. Can you explain what that means, a cooperative contract?
No, go ahead.
So cooperative contract is a state process that is kind of like a group buy type thing, where they've already bid the project on a per square foot scenario or something along those lines. And so it's a kind of like a state contract, only it's a different purchasing process.
So like it's under a master contract that
Correct.
already exists?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So rather than going out and doing our own bid, we could either go to a state contract and purchase off of that, because another organization has already let that contract, or we can go off a cooperative bid, similar type thing. Another entity has already done the RFP, obtained prices, and we can kind of utilize that contract to do our work.
Okay, great.
Ms. Farrar?
Just a point of clarification, is this along the lines of regionalization? Does that have anything to do with that?
No,
Oh, the contract
not
with
at
the
all.
state and all, okay, thank you. Just
Not at all.
Mr. Butler?
So you mentioned the warehouse floor renovation that you got out ahead of and now you're sitting and waiting for. You mentioned the steel availability. Are there any of the volatility in the steel market affecting
No.
us? No?
Nope, nothing's been affected. The contractors have been upfront and honest with us that everything's been fine so far. We
Okay.
procured that well enough in advance to where it's just a matter of the product coming in after the order was placed.
Okay.
Which is, they should be starting up beginning of June again, putting new steel in.
Thanks.
Mr. Stensel?
Thank you guys for the update. I really appreciate it and all the hard work you put into this. Just a question of curiosity. I didn't see it in the packet, but is there going to be any update or news about the Level Up project that was approved back in December?
There was a brief slide in there where we talked about Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Okay.
Phase 1 is currently in design, which is a significant amount, all the roofing that was part of the original scope. I think it was $17 million worth of
Oh, I must have
scope
missed
there.
that. I'm sorry.
And then, so that's in design right now, so windows, and the windows are at Craig Hill, Brookside, and Odyssey. Those are in design right now. They'll be going into the state with anticipation that that construction will happen next summer, start next summer. And then Phase 2 of the project is security vestibules at Athena and Odyssey. Again, those are also in design. And, what did I say? Arcadia, I'm sorry, not Athena, Arcadia. Sorry, apologies. And then Phase 3 through 6 at this point are very early on in the planning stages, and that work it won't happen until 2028-ish.
So we'll probably hear more about this as time goes on.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just one final question. On that remaining 500,000, I know we're not doing all the windows at Athena. Would that be enough to finish the windows at Athena or not? No. Yeah,
So,
that's kind of what I assumed.
Yeah, we went through that. We had a similar idea, Sean, and unfortunately, it would have only fixed 2 or 3 of the, maybe 4 of the windows along one facade, where half the facade would be done and the other half wouldn't, and it didn't make sense to do that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to 5.01, 25-26 school bus bond resolution approval. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Butler, second by Mr. Stensel. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to appropriate fund balance resolutions. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Stensel, second by Ms. Lake. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. On to the intermunicipal agreement sale. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Ms. Malor, seconded by Mr. Bonagorio. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all is in favor. That passes 8-0. Moving on to 6.01, anticipated bids. That's written information only. Does anybody have any questions? 6.02 is the budget status report. That's written information only. Does anybody have any questions on that? All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Can I have Sonny move the consent agenda to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Butler, second by Mr. Stensel. Any comments, questions, or concerns on the consent agenda? I would just like to take a moment to thank the extra classroom funds at Arcadia High, Arcadia Middle, Athena High, Olympia, and district-wide. I mean, those extra classroom paid, assisted in musical production of Forever Plaid, centerpieces for the gala, baseball banners, a DJ for an 8th grade dance, the balloon arch for senior day, photographers, decorations, a DJ. So we're very thankful to the extra classroom funds for their donations to the various schools in the district. With that, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. Moving on to the certified budget results for May 20th, 25. Can I say move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Stetzel, second by Ms. Malloy. Any comments, questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. Moving on to second read of policies. We'll start with the new social media policy. Can I somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Stetzel, second by Mr. Butler. Any comments, questions, concerns on this? Just so you know, all these policies went through policy committee a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we met. The committee endorsed these all wholeheartedly. So with that, does anybody have any questions on the social media? Yes, Ms. Lake.
Just a comment. Thank you. It's
Microphone.
better than the sentence I wrote. Oh.
Did you hear it?
I did, thank you, I appreciate that. Anything else? Mr. Bonagario?
This may seem like a minor thing, but there is the phrase in the second paragraph, this is crucial for fostering responsible digital citizenship among our students. We seem to qualify a lot of things, and I'm just wondering if we could remove the word digital, just because these are kind of fundamental decisions that people make, and just it's part of just being a responsible citizen.
Okay, we have an amendment to remove digital. Is there a second on that? Once it's seconded, Ms. Lake, question it. Now this is on the digital aspect. Did you second his? I did. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that. Now, does anybody have any comments, questions on the amendment? Ms. Vice President Farmer.
I'm wondering why digital was included. It seems to me that what might be specific. Oh. I was wondering why digital was included, and it seems to me that with all of this digital stuff happening, so I'm not clear why you would not want that in there. How does that sit with you?
It's clear that it's about technology. I just think we're just speaking to something we wouldn't say automotive responsibility. We would talk about just, being responsible in the way we use things. And I just think it just cleans it up just a little bit. Not a hill I want to die on. But I just think, why the qualifier?
Okay.
So it just brings it back home a little bit. It's a decision that we make.
Me too.
Any other comments on the amendment? All right, all those in favor of the amendment of removing digital, let me just see a show of hands. Megan, your hand's up. That passes. There's 5. Those against? 3. It passes 5-3, removing digital. All right. Now on to the main motion with digital removed. So the social media usage policy as amended. All those in favor? Any opposed? That passes 8-0. Moving on to next up is which one? Principles of purchasing and procurement of goods and services. Policy 5410. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Sensel, seconded by Ms. Moore. Any comments, questions, or concerns on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. Moving on to the next one, 6110, Code of Ethics for all district personnel. Can I have somebody move that to the table, please? Moved by Mr. Stensel, seconded by Mr. Butler. Any comments, questions, or concerns on this? Seeing none, all those in favor? That passes 8-0. And the final one, professional services, consultants, and contractors, we're deleting, so there's no action necessary on that. That's informational purposes only. And with that, can I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular person? Moved by Jordan. Can I get a second on that? Mark. All those in favor? That passes 8-0. Thank you, everyone. The board won't be returning. We'll conclude the meeting in executive session.